control your own karma. Now let's dismantle the idea of what we think karma is. Now, yeah, karma is the law of cause and effect. For every action, there's a reaction, right? However, let's think about the beings that are here on this here earth, right? They make choices that could significantly impact people in a negative way, but they don't feel bad about the choices that they make because they are doing it for the greater good of all. So we are transmuting energy, transmuting our feelings, right? God, the frequency of God, the frequency of the universe, it has no moral compass per se. It only reacts to the energy that we are corresponding with. Let's say you have a person who is a lawmaker, right? Let's say a president. President does something that everyone thinks is negative. This is the action. But the president does it for the good of all. Of all. This is a mindset. The thoughts that we have turn into feelings, feelings turn into actions, right? Doing something causes an effect. All right? Now, like I said before, the things that are out in our external is just a projection from our internal. Now, if you think that the things that other people will do will have an impact on you, then it shall be. Because you already think it, and therefore it shall be so. So the president does negative. President does it for the good of all. He has this mindset. He's transmuting the alchemical reaction. So this is why you may see that there are people that have no consequences because they don't believe in consequences. They just believe that they're doing it for the benefit of all humanity, or doing it for the good of, or greater good of all. Let's talk about, but we're not going to get into politics. We keep that over there. Politics, that's all part of the matrix. But I'm just talking about this because, just to get to the point of what karma is. Karma is not good or bad. It just is. Every action, there's a reaction. It doesn't mean it has to be negative. If you think what you do is going to negatively impact or have a negative impact, then that's going to play out in your reality. The energy flows where our attention goes. The things that we put our attention to, let's say it's a person that let's say they're going to go steal $5 from a person's purse, from another person's purse. They don't have any ill feeling. They don't have any shame, fear, guilt. So therefore, there won't be any consequences. They have no shame. They have no fear. They have no guilt about what transpired in the action that they have just taken. It is only up to us that karma exists. Karma, like I said, karma isn't good or bad. It just is. It's the law of nature. Nature, if you do something, something else is going to happen. Something else is going to respond to that action. So, like I said, president takes a negative action, but this is just the perception of what others believe is negative. What we think is negative, now it could be negative to us, but to this person, it's not. So they are wielding their own reality to shape their own perception of what is morally right and morally wrong. It doesn't matter what you think is morally wrong for another person, but because that person is standing firm in their own power, they're standing firm in their own power of what they think is good, then that's gonna play out. People say, "Oh well, how is it that other people, when people do good, when people do bad, they just have all these, good things that happen. They have all these blessings that come upon them because these people mastered alchemy. It's alchemical. It's the alchemical reaction. All right. It's transmuting of metals, transmuting energy. Okay. Nice, nasty people. When I think of nice, nasty people, I think about people in the church because they would say, "Oh, well, I like your shoes," when they know darn well it's a dirty pair of shoes, tore up, beat up. But they be like, "Oh, well, I like your shoes." It's transmuting energy. What they meant for evil is intended for good. Their intentions are pure, but they made that person feel like shit in the long run. Their intentions are pure. Like I said, if you say, "Oh well, I like your shoes," and that other person's mind and their mind is, well, the shoes, they aren't as up to par, they aren't as fresh. So why would this person? Oh well, they basically, and then that person will have the reaction, "Oh well, they don't like me," and now because they said something or made a mark on their shoes, they feel like they have to respond and level it up with, "Oh well, it's gonna be a negative response to it. It's gonna be something like, oh well, that's why your edges is this, that, and the third." They coming from a negative intention, but because that nice nasty person had transmuted the energy towards the comment that they made, that could affect their emotion, that person's emotions in a negative way. There is no such thing as consequence. That it could good consequence. It could be a good consequence. Consequences don't have to be negative or bad. I mean, negative or good, positive. So when it comes to karma, consequence morals, has no impact. It only has as much of an impact that you allow it to have. Like I said, frequency of God. When you're acting from the heart of pure intention, God knows thy heart. Your heart is pure. And I'm not saying that, just be evil in a nice, nasty way. No. But I'm saying the level of karma that we give power to is what affects us. Okay? Morals. Universe don't know that. When you align yourself with authenticity, the frequency of authenticity, you're aligning with what your God, okay, your sense of God, your sense of self, your sense of purpose. When you align with that, there is no such thing as negative or positive. Everything just is. And when you, like I said, when you are aligning with yourself in a frequency of authenticity, you're being yourself. That's when things start to align. Everything, becomes a consequence or karma. But there is no such thing as a negative or positive. Everything is just reacting to what you allow your energy and attention to go to. If you think that all things are working out in your favor, all things are working out your highest good, you shall have that. You shall have that. Let your words be true, just as your mind. Well, just as your thoughts. Thoughts turn into feelings, feeling turns to action. All right? Bad people don't necessarily exist. Good people don't necessarily exist. Now I'm talking about on a metaphysical level, because it's like, okay, well, in the physical world, yeah, well, you know, this stuff happens and and it just is. It just is. It's fucked up, but it just is. Consequence is a sequence. Consequence. It's based off of a sequence of actions. A sequence of actions that take place based off of the frequency that you are aligning your heart with. Feeling bad. Fear. Feeling. Fear. Triggers our karma. Shame triggers our karma. Guilty triggers karma. When you take an action, when you make an action, maybe I could have did this better, maybe I could have did that. And yeah, the most evil people in the world. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not telling you to be evil or nothing like that. But I'm saying you can transmute your own energy. But they do things negatively. They do things on purpose to cause people to fear, cause guilt, cause shame in people. Because the majority of people who think about the things that they fear or think about the things that they have guilt in, they're putting energy towards that. They're putting energy towards it and they cause their own karma. We are the cause of our own karma. Like, it just is. There's no, like I said, get out this fear, get out this shame, get out this guilt. This is all a representation of our lower chakras. And when our lower chakras are in balance, this is the cause of our imbalances, our fear, our shame, our guilt. This is the cause of the lower chakras being out of alignment. And this is what causes us to be out of alignment. And this is what causes us to have those or attract those negative things, because we're resonating from this, resonate from the frequency of this, and this. So if you think, ponder, dwelling on the past, dwelling on regrets, dwelling on the past, dwelling on the things that we could have did differently, things will keep on happening. Things will keep on happening because when you're putting yourself in a loop, dwelling on this, dwelling on that, putting itself in the loop, and it's causing this illusion. It's causing this illusion of this frequency to pull and wheel in other things that are caused these things. Other things are transpiring to go into this wheel of fear, shame, and guilt. Because that is the frequency that people align themselves on. So once you get out of that, transmute and say, hey, everything is working out for my higher good. I'm doing this for the greater good of all. Everything is working out for my higher sense of purpose. Everything is working out in my favor. You have that mindset, your consequences will be from confidence, bravery, and no regrets. And I hate to say it, but think like a rich person. Think in the mind of not just, I'm not talking about monetarily rich in spirit. You're rich. Everything's working out for my higher good. Nothing can affect me. Everything is positively working out. Anything that falls out of life, it just simply wasn't for me. And now I'm just aligning on this frequency of authenticity, and everything is working out for my higher good. Consequence. It's a sequence of events that occur, a sequence of events in action that occur based off of the thoughts and our feelings. God has no morals. Universe has no morals. For instance, just like when we ask ourselves, asking God is asking our higher self, asking the universe is asking our higher self. But when you ask higher self to align with the things that you want, when you ask God to align yourself with your most authentic self, many of us may think that everything is happening to us, but everything is really happening for us. But you may think that it's having a negative things are happening negatively. However, things are working out in your favor. Now, just like I said, God has no morals. God has no. The frequency of God no morals is normal. All right? I'm going to show you how. When you ask God or ask Source to align with your purpose and to align with things that you feel represents your purpose, God, we oftentimes bring it together, but whatever. God, universe, will take away people, sometimes monetary things of the flesh. They'll just start stripping things away that you may have a possession of, right? But in order for you to align, in order for your God or your higher self to align yourself, your being with the things that you want and you want to see in your existence, you must shed your old reality. It doesn't matter who goes. God, universe does not care about who and what goes. All it cares is what you ask. You commanding God to do this. You have to keep that promise and go along with your purpose, with your sense of reality, what your sense of reality is. So God has no morals. Universe has no morals. It's only reflecting what you want to see. It's only reflecting your frequency. It's only reflecting your frequency. It's a frequency of events that happens and transpires in order for you to get to your destination that you called your God to take you. So morals only impact us when we believe in them. That's why the most sinister people don't care. They just don't care. Okay? There are people out in the world that just don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And that should be our motto. Don't give a fuck. Don't care about anything that's outside of yourself. As long as you're doing it with the intention of, hey, I'm doing it for the greater good of all, and I'm doing it because I actually think that everyone will benefit from it. People actually believe that the shit that they do, people will benefit from. Okay? Transmuting energy. This is alchemy. All right?